Hello guys, today I'm going to show you how to make a beautiful bespoke and waterproof artwork on your handbag. It will definitely make you stand out from the crowd, so let's go. As you can see, I'm using this picture as a reference of the scale and the actual artwork that I'm going to create. And in terms of the paint, I'm using Angelus paint, which is water resistant and scratch resistant. And obviously I made an outline of the entire artwork at the beginning, and now I'm going to fill out the whole space with white paint. The reason why we're going to fill out the outline with the white space is that so the colors will actually pop out from the on the handbag. I mean, if you would place, for example, maybe, well, you with black and white drawing, it might not be that visible, but if you would like to, for example, place yellow color on on a brown handbag, or on on a handbag like this with such such a detailed pattern, the color would not be visible. So the yellow most likely would be darker, especially if you would place only one layer of the paint. So we need to create that kind of white background, and obviously kind of fill out all the details, all the little bits and bobs around them, around the artwork. So you can probably see that I started an artwork before. There's some kind of Vivian Vivian Libra keychain painted, but since it's my handbag, and I'm going to say that it's not genuine, by the way, I decided to create something else on top of it, because I didn't really like the color scheme. I just think that the yellow and green colors wouldn't really match with my handbag, because it's kind of brown and beigey. So I wanted something something more kind of plain with kind of like a rich gold outline. So as you can see, I'm continuing with with placing different shading on the painting. So I'm kind of mixing black and white to create different different shades of gray. And the rule in this case is pretty simple. I mean, the areas that I paint black, they kind of seem to be kind of further away from from us, and obviously the bits that are lighter, obviously from the darker to the lightest grayscale to pretty much white places mean that that particular area is kind of closer to us. So in that way, kind of adds a a three-dimensional feel to the painting. The artwork itself, I mean, maybe it's not that simple, I would say. So you would perhaps need to paint a little bit before to create exactly the same thing. I mean, I've been painting my whole life, and I mean, even this artwork is not even that complicated. Like, for me, it doesn't take that long to do it. But hopefully you'll be able to catch up and kind of continue step by step the way I make it. So I think the one advice that I can really give in terms of in terms of painting is just not to be afraid, not to be afraid to mix colors, not to be afraid, to make a mistake, or to place some shade of a paint in a different color that you technically supposed to do it, because art is pretty much about it's not only about the final result, but about the actual the whole process of making it. So it should be fun, it should be relaxing, so just create the artwork the way you feel you would like it. I mean, because if you really think of it, the biggest artists, yes, they most likely do have, the really good professional base of, of creating, of drawing and of painting, but the way they became such a famous people, right? Such a famous artists is because they have their own style. So right now, most of the time I'm teaching the basics of painting, of drawing, as you can see, with the basic, with the shading techniques, with kind of detailing, etc. But don't be afraid to make mistakes, because in art, you can always fix it. You can always paint something on top, or create something else from the mistake that you made. So yeah. But coming back to the actual artwork, as you can see, all shading pretty much is done. So now I'm placing the kind of texture details. I mean, it could have been done in more detail, with more kind of precision, I'd say. But I didn't really put so many hours of work into this piece. Plus, as you can see, even on the video, the texture of that bag is kind of grainy. Like, it's not smooth, it's not that plain. So that's why some details would not look that precisely as as they would on the plain and smooth bag. So right now, as you can see, I'm placing the gold details, the gold leaf on the artwork. So in order to place the gold leaf, I'm using the Angelus acrylic finisher, and that's the gold leaves that I'm using. As you can see, I have the whole the whole kind of package of sheets. And obviously I started using only white paint as a base for the leaf to stick on, but I'm gonna tell you right now, try not to do it. Try to start with placing the transparent acrylic finisher from the beginning, because then you're gonna end up with having white patches behind it, and well, depending of what kind of effect you're trying to achieve, but I was kind of hoping not to see the white patches behind the gold sheet. And obviously, once the sheets are kind of placed, at least the first base, we can start kind of touching and kind of making the rough edges of the actual gold background. So in terms of the gold leaf, you would need to be really careful with it, because it's really delicate. Even the way you place it on the bag, it needs to be really, really delicate, the way you tap it. And just place the acrylic finisher on top to secure the gold leaf and the painting itself. So this is the final artwork. I must say it looks really good, especially with the gold background that makes the artwork stand out. So I hope you enjoy it. Put a thumbs up if you got inspired, and see you next time.